Hey, good morning, y'all. Welcome to JDB's Morning Cap. Today is Friday, June 12th, 2026. We're gonna make this show short today because this temperature has been humid. It's going to be 99 degrees, possibly 100 degrees in here today in Stockton, California. Um, Let us all pray that we got to keep our healthy bodies so we can survive every single hot days. We got to drink plenty of water. We got to eat nutrients. If we can do everything right, we could survive until fall. Summer is just around the corner. So, summer is first day of summer will be on June 21st, which is the Sunday. The temperature is going to be really hard right now. So, speaking of temperature, let's start with the Dallas Cowboys for 3 minutes. What's this outlook for 2026 look like? For the Cowboys, last year 79-1. They projected 11-6. Let's talk about the defense first. Can the defense turn it around? Last year, they're one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Losing Michael Parsons proved impossible, but Quinnen Williams, Rashad Gary, Malachi Lawrence, I think the defense expect to be better with these three men on defense. But is there everything I can ask for it? They can bolster this team. The offense is going to be great, no doubt about it. Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach. This is his second season as head coach. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Javonte Williams. I mean, there's a handful of guys, and the offensive line. They want a fresher offensive line. That would even help. Even is going to help their cause. But now, with that being said, they project to go 11-6, and high likely they're going to win this division because their Cowboys and Eagles are one of the favorites to come out of the NFC East. Because of that, this is the place that you really want to use. That if this is the problem, then that's coming here. In my prediction, I agree with the odds. I think I was going 11-6, and I think they're going to win this division. If they can beat the Eagles and the rest of its division, then this team will be dangerous. I would say in the playoffs, the Cowboys have question marks in the playoffs, but they got to be better in the playoffs if they want to make this deeper playoff run. So, if that's the case, then we can really talk about this on that one. Also, I'm gonna talk Cowboys for one more minute here. So the Cowboys' schedule, they're facing winning opponents this season. They're going to play the Eagles twice. They're going to face the Texans. They're going to face the Packers. They're going to face the 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Jaguars. Those are the teams that are facing winning teams for the Cowboys against them this year. So teams against winning record, teams against Cowboys will face number of winning teams from last year, and all have been in the playoffs, and one of them have won a Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks, defending Super Bowl champions. They'll face the Eagles twice. Jacksonville, Los Angeles Rams, Houston Texans, San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers, so that's 7 teams and 9 games. The Cowboys will play 9 games this season against winning opponents, including 2 games against the Eagles, 1 at home and 1 on the road. So hopefully that will change every basket of the game. So we'll see every facet of the game. So they'll get some more outsets in this one here. All right, let's move on from this. Let's talk Home Run Derby participants' predictions. Who are my potential 8 Home Run Derby participants? So I can choose 8. I can choose 8 of those. 4 for the American League and 4 for the National League. So let's start with the American League. My first participant for the American League side representing is Nick Kurtz from the Athletics of West Sacramento. I chose Nick Kurtz as number 1. So far this year, he's having a phenomenal season. He's hitting .283, 15 home runs, 49 RBIs. Oh, by the way, he's tops in the league in walks. That does include intentional walk rate, which is the best in baseball. Kurtz has hit 15 home runs this year, top 6 in American League, top 10 in baseball in that department. Nick Kurtz has 15 home runs. He may be participating in the Home Run Derby this year. I wouldn't say he's going to win it, but I think he has a pretty good chance to do it. My second participant is Ben Rice. Have yourself a season, Ben Rice. Last year he was good. This year even better. Batting average ridiculously .295, 18 home runs, 45 RBIs. I will put Ben Rice in the conversation in the Home Run Derby. And as a matter of fact, MVP and All-Star conversation, All-Star starter conversation. So it's going to be a competition between Kurtz and Rice for the first baseman All-Star starter. Right now, it's got to be Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz has got to be the favorite, and Ben Rice should be reserving. But Ben Rice would be. I think Ben Rice is the right fit to be in the Home Run Derby. Ben Rice is not necessarily the next Aaron Judge, but he did have a price from Aaron Judge, so that's a good sign for Ben Rice. He can play first. He's done some catching as well, so. So he likes to play first baseman most of the time. Third participant, representing American League, Pete Alonso from the Baltimore Orioles. 2-time Home Run Derby champion, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso this season, he got off to a slow start. He started to get rolling. He hit .243 this year, 15 home runs, 44 RBIs. He picked up his 15th home run in a 7-5 win over the Mariners last night in Baltimore. I would put Pete Alonso definitely in this conversation because he knows how to hit home runs in a high rate. So, home run rate, which is amongst the best in baseball since he made his major league debut with the Mets. Now, Pete, this is his first season with the Orioles. It's been an up and down start for him. Will he get over 90 RBIs? Will he still manage to get over 90 RBIs by the end of the year? Yeah. He's going to hit 30 home runs. He's not going to hit solo shots. He doesn't like solo home runs. Either he likes a 2-run shot, 3-run shot, or a grand slam. He could do any home runs, only if it's only a person gets on base, not when base is empty. Pete Alonso has success when at least one runner on base. Pete Alonso has the most home runs, at least one runner on base. That's insane. And then finally on American League, my pick is Junior Caminero. Caminero, All-Star last year. Batting average even better, 278, 14 home runs, 30 RBIs. I will put him in this conversation because I think he's going to start hitting home runs when the temperature changes. I think Junior could hit roughly 23 home runs by All-Star break. If he hits more than 23 home runs, if he hits like 25, 26 of them by the All-Star break, we already put him in a conversation for that. Because of that, those are situations you will be never forgotten. All right, so that's my four, like I said, for my 4 American League Home Run Derby participants: Kurtz, Alonso, Rice, and Caminero. Those are my 4 American League Home Run Derby participants. Here are my National League Home Run Derby participants. By the way, All-Star Game, Home Run Derby will all take place in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park. Home Run Derby will not be on ESPN. It will be on Netflix this year and beyond. It will be All-Star Game will remain on Fox. So let's take a look at my 4 National League Home Run Derby participants. Number 1, it definitely Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is looking for his first career Home Run Derby champion in their hometown. Kyle Schwarber does not live in Philadelphia, but he plays with this team though. Kyle Schwarber, we only had several who won it in their history. There's only 3 players who did it. The late Ryan Sandberg, Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field in 1990. Todd Frazier did it in 2015 in Great American Ballpark. Bryce Harper did it in 2018 in Nationals Park. Kyle Schwarber could become the 4th player in Derby history to win the Home Run Derby in their home ballparks. It's only happened 3 times in Derby history. Kyle Schwarber this season, he's hit 239, 42 runs batted in, 24 home runs, leads the National League and all of baseball as well with home runs. He's on pace for 63 home runs. I don't know if it's a Phillies franchise record. Phillies franchise record in home runs in a single season. Ryan Howard has 58 home runs in 2006. That's the franchise record in 2006. Kyle Schwarber had 56 last year. He was two short from tying it, 3 from surpassing it. I think Kyle Schwarber will hit more than 56 home runs this time. The question is, will he hit at least 58 home runs? If Kyle Schwarber ends at 58 home runs, that would tie the franchise record. If Kyle hits more than 58 home runs, even he doesn't hit 60, if he hits 59 home runs, then that will be a franchise record. If he hits more than 59 home runs, that's more than the record would add on. So, lots on the line. So, he needs 35 home runs for the rest of the season to surpass Ryan Howard. Can he do it? He needs to start that today. It doesn't have to be 10 consecutive games with a home run. You got to hit a home run at least one other day at a time. If you could hit several multi-home run games, that's going to help your confidence. That's going to help your confidence if that's the case. My next home run participant is Jordan Walker from the St. Louis Cardinals. Jordan Walker is having a tremendous year. He's gone from sending out to AAA several times to become the best hitter in baseball, the best surprise hitter in baseball. Walker has hit .302, 17 home runs, 52 RBIs. It's been an incredible story for Jordan Walker. And the Cardinals are sitting the first wild card in the National League. I'm impressed with Jordan Walker's plate discipline. And I like to put Jordan Walker in the home run derby conversation. I would love to see that happen. But if that's the case, there's not going to be any problems at all that we're talking about. This is a really different story here. That's going to be the serious case right now, and this is how this is going to happen. But we all know this one here. My next home run derby participant is Pete Crow Armstrong. Yeah, so far he's hit 11 home runs this year, but I like to put PCA on the HRD, home run derby. Is he gonna win? No. Is he gonna make it to the first round? We'll find out. I'm not sure he's gonna make it out of the first round. But if they could do it tiebreakers and decimal points in a home run derby like they did last year, whoever hits a higher decimal point actually advances. Whoever hits the least home runs is out. Or whoever hits the least home runs and at least a decimal of distance doesn't make the first round. And then finally, James Wood from the Washington Nationals. James Wood, All-Star last year. So far, even better. 271, 18 home runs, 43 RBIs. I put James Wood in the conversation because I think James Wood deserves a power resurgence. But I'm sure that we can condone this situation. But it's not going to be a problem at all. But there's nothing else you could really tell you for it. But what is going to happen? All right, so I'm going to break this all down for possible 8 home run derby participants. It's not official yet. So this is the home run derby predictions expectations. So it's in no particular order for the home run derby. So number 1 is going to be Kyle Schwarber. Number 2, Jordan Walker. Number 3, Nick Kurtz. Number 4, Ben Rice. Number 5, Pete Alonso. Number 6, Ben Rice. Number 7, Junior Caminero. And number 8, Pete Crow Armstrong. That's going to be my home run derby rankings. So, in my winner, And my winner is Kyle Schwarber. That's be my prediction. Next one. All right, let's move on. Next one. Let's talk about the what happened in Game 4 loss, or otherwise. Let's talk about who's the biggest blame in the Spurs in this series. How about that? Who's been the biggest blame for the Spurs through the first 4 games of this NBA Finals? See how this. So the biggest blame so far is De'Aaron Fox. I blame De'Aaron Fox, especially Game 4. De'Aaron Fox tried to lay up to try to extend the lead, but he missed it because OG Anunoby blocked it. Looked like it was a foul. They didn't call it, even though they didn't call it. That allowed OG Anunoby to hit a go-ahead, put it back later after Brunson missed a 3-point jump shot. Anunoby hit a game-winning put-back layup with 1.2 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter in Game 4. So I have to blame De'Aaron Fox. For this. De'Aaron Fox is having a really rough series. In fact, he's having a rough NBA Finals, period. I was just losing my patience and all that stuff. You don't have to do that. The other thing the biggest blame through the first 4 games in this Finals is Mitch Johnson. I know he's a good hell of a young coach, but damn. I blame Mitch Johnson for this. He did not call a timeout in Game 2. When the Spurs had possession, Castro didn't see the ball, and the Spurs turned it over to the Knicks. And that allowed Jalen Brunson to hit a go-ahead one of the 2 free throws, and they're able to take Game 2. The Spurs have blown 3 leads in this Finals. As a matter of fact, the Spurs are 3-7 in clutch games in this playoffs, 1-3 in this Finals. So it's been a disappointing series so far. Can the Spurs figure it out the rest of the series? I don't know. I was going to talk about that next in this one here. Let's move on from that. Game 5 is tomorrow night in Frostbank Center in San Antonio, Texas. The Knicks have a 3-1 series advantage. Knicks to looking for their first title victory in 53 years. The Knicks could. Let's start with the New York Knicks first. In Game 5, who do you think who's the most important player in Game 5 for the Knicks? It's Karl-Anthony Towns. The most important player to close out the Game 5 is Karl-Anthony Towns. Can he get off to a good start? Because his last game, he struggled with 2 fouls in the first quarter. Karl-Anthony Towns has been it's been an up and down Finals for KAT, but I do like the fact that Karl is making some huge shots when the game is close. He's only scored a few points in the fourth quarter in this series, but if he can get that going, the whole team could get it going. So right now, Jalen Brunson leads the Knicks in points per game, but the X factor so far in this series is OG Anunoby. He is having a phenomenal series. I will put him in the NBA Finals MVP conversation. I think he should win. I think right now, OG Anunoby OG's field goal percentage, which is 58%, OG Anunoby has shot 58% in the NBA Finals in this series. Comparing to Jalen Brunson, he's only shoot 40% from the field. So I give OG Anunoby a slight edge to win the Finals MVP. Jalen is still the favorite to win the MVP of the NBA Finals, but I will put OG. I love OG Anunoby. I think he's gonna win the MVP of the NBA Finals. This is a big steal. If Jalen Brunson gets snubbed in the finals, that's understandable. OG was better. He's been shooting well almost every game in this series. So I love OG Anunoby to win the Finals MVP. He's my top dog. OG Anunoby is my top dog. There's no getting around it. So the biggest X factor in this series so far through the first 4 games of this Finals is OG Anunoby. He's the guy who's providing a spark every game in this series. So Knicks are a win away from winning their first title in 53 years. 1973 was the last time the Knicks have won a championship. For the San Antonio Spurs, who is the most important player for the Spurs when facing elimination? Before I answer this question, the Spurs are 2-0 in this playoffs when facing elimination. Both of those elimination games have been in the Western Conference Finals against the Thunder when the Spurs were down 3-2. And now the Spurs are facing a much spotty situation for Mitch Johnson. Who's the most important player for the Spurs to keep their championship hopes alive? De'Aaron Fox is the most important. I would say De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle are the most important players to stave off the elimination tomorrow night at home in front of their home fans. The Spurs right now, I'm going to count the home losses. Lost to the Blazers in the first round in Game 2. Lost to Wolves in Game 1 of the semifinals. Lost to Thunder in Game 3 of the Western Finals. Lost the first 2 games of his finals to the Knicks. Spurs have 5 home losses in this playoffs. The Spurs are as I'm saying, that I think the most important players are Fox and Castle when the Spurs are facing elimination tomorrow night. So what they have to do it tomorrow night. Spurs' first quarter has been successful so far through the first 4 games. However, after the first quarter, they just cannot sustain. You gotta sustain. It's critical. You gotta sustain that situation. All right, I gotta wear that new. It's about this guys at this game and this opportunity. You just don't have to worry about anything else. All right. It's Game 5. You got to start tomorrow, and you got to start right now, and not the next day. There's no next day. You got to start now, otherwise you're going home. So here's this going to work. If the Knicks win tomorrow night. So let's see how this is going to play out here in Game 5. So if the Knicks win, they win the title for the first time in 53 years. If the Spurs win tomorrow, then Game 6 will be back to New York on Tuesday night. So the Spurs season hangs in the balance. Who do you think who I should pick Game 5? Should I pick the Knicks, close it out tomorrow? Or should I pick the Spurs to fight another day? The series head back to New York on Tuesday night. This is pretty damn close. I feel like the Knicks. I feel like I picked the Knicks to close out, but analytics says the Spurs. The odds says the Spurs will force a game 6 with a win tomorrow night. The analytics says the Spurs will win to keep their season alive, but I hypothetically picked the Knicks to close out tomorrow because the Knicks are 3-0 in series clinching opportunities. We'll see how that goes here tomorrow night in Frostbank Center in this one. All right, let's wrap it up. What's coming up on Monday? I'll recap Game 5 for sure between Knicks and Spurs. The outcome of this game would it be either the Knicks win for the first title in 53 years, or will the Spurs force Game 6? Spurs season hangs in a balance. Keep that in mind. Game 5 is tomorrow. Just a one catch here. Hurricanes beat the Golden Knights in Game 5 last night, 4-2. Hurricanes are now one win away for their second Stanley Cup title in their franchise history. Game 6 will be back to Las Vegas on June 14th, which is the Sunday. So, and also I'm going to talk some NFL. I'm going to talk some other outlooks for 2026. So I'll choose any of these team outlooks that I'm going to look at it at this point on. All right, man, I'm out of here. This is JDB's Morning Cap. We'll be back at it on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.